Hey, Boat Bomber.
What?
Give the people what they want.
Fine.
Is this what the people want?
No.
What about backyard streams?
Fuck off.
Oh yeah, space station. My old friend.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to Oasis, a middle-class shantytown that I, Hank Oakland, rule over as mayor. My public service began at the bar. In this decaying drinking spot is where I learned how to be the mayor, so we're running with a man of the people gimmick for re-election. I then got on the radio to test out how passing laws work. I declared to the community that nudity is required and sex is banned. I wanted to build tension, maybe start a war between the shirts and skins. Instead it would have started a not-so-sexy revolution. Clearly, I needed to survey one of the sheep in order to understand the entire herd. What direction should we take this town in? No one wants to get naked. Growing food! I was out of touch with these folks. I couldn't see why you'd want to grow food in a world where you can buy liquor with bottle caps, so I ignored the farming suggestion and proposed attacking our enemies, whoever they are. When suddenly a reason to strike fell into my lap. Apparently something called the Den threatened to shut down our bar. Thus I embarked on a walk outside the town gates to find the Den of evil. Out in the streets of the wasteland, bullets travel through the air commonly as flies, landing where they please and always near the shit. To avoid getting hit, you got sandbags and cars for cover. When I took a peek out of the pillow fort, I saw a street fight knockout, but I didn't know the backstory, therefore I'm just happy for the winner. A reminder of what I was supposed to be doing came from an eye-patch mohawk goatee. He asked me if someone tried to blow up our bar. This led me back to the gates of Oasis, and into awkward small talk. Once inside, the gatekeeper told me that while I was out, someone bombed the bar. He added that the bomber was named Billy Boom, a man born to do such a thing. I complained because earlier gate dude didn't think the threat was reason enough to attack. Well, during these trying times, words are like human meat. You'll be eating your own if driven to that point. Meanwhile, someone was on fire, but I'd rather assess the damage at the bar. I expressed my opinion over the airways. Oasis bar isn't even that damaged. Come on in and get your dick sucked and prop your feet up. That might sound nice, but those two activities don't go together. With poor execution, you'll be dealt crushed balls and a bent cock. Get that fantasy out of your head. The Brotherhood of Steel are here. Welcome to Oasis, fellas.
Anyways, heard of a numbnuts mayor a while back. Something about forcing everybody to be naked.
That would be me. Yeah, that was a joke.
You're the guy that told everybody to be... Okay, anyway.
No one wanted to do it.
We'll take a little look and roll.
Otherwise, I'd be full on serious. Come on in.
You'd also be full on dead, honestly. But alright.
Just had to add that in there.
Yeah, it's actually good advice.
Stroke that armored ego.
Okay, I give you good advice, and you tell me to stroke my ego. Thanks.
I then got back to investigating the bombing. So the Den, Billy Boom, these are things we need to take care of.
Could put a bounty on Billy Boom specifically.
Sorry, I got distracted. The man you see being hung by a rope, or at the very least is standing there with a string around his neck, well, he put a pickaxe in someone else's head, so I approved of his hanging. I didn't need to see any evidence. Verbal confirmation is enough when you don't have forensics, surveillance, or gloved prostate exams. During the celebration in town square, I received a visitor.
Man, some dude wants to talk to you outside.
Let us talk. The out-of-towners wanted me to come see their bar, which felt like a trap, but the local tap room here was all bombed and old, meaning if I get killed, at least there's a chance I get to see a nicer place. Right out the gate, there was a shootout that featured ammunition from the past and present. I avoided getting penetrated and burnt by following this queen-looking fella to safety. I was taken into a manhole. Inside, of course, you got a dimly lit sewer system. Deep in the toilet water canal lies the Den, which is exactly where I wanted to be. Upon stepping into their cool underground bar, I completely understood why they wanted to shut our shit show down and have everybody come here. Yeah, the atmosphere is more appealing, but really all you need is cage fighting to make anything better than what your competitor has to offer. Alright, between out of character me and in character you, I saw the alleged bomber known as Billy Boom lose his MMA debate. So me asking this question was an attempt to tie the story together. Unfortunately, no one answered me. Though on the fence side, I did get to see disembowelment through a chain-linked filter. Surprise, surprise, this hungry young man was a cannibal. You know, some people fight for money, others glory or revenge, but I think this champion really has it figured out. After watching that mess, I needed a drink. Once my glass was empty, I left it on the table furthest away from the bartender, like an inconsiderate drunk not worthy of being called a patron. Oh yeah, and that bloated cannibal got beat by a midget. The organ muncher remained alive and in the ring. I guess every bout isn't a death match. Yeah, that's fair to give the fighters that option, but it's a tease for the audience. In this one, the cannibal faced off against a tough bitch, the lady who brought me here. So I felt like a boy strapped in a car seat watching his mother fight off a child-eating predator. I chose to leave the comfort of that lit area to wander around the unknown darkness, to try and find an exit to the surface. I followed the blood trails, not knowing whether they were man-made or if the almighty mapper painted these stains. Eventually, I stumbled into an underground storage unit. It was mostly empty. The most notable thing to me was the remains of someone who thought they were waiting in a time capsule while not fully understanding what that is. And this person with their bones still inside of them was their lover. The sweetheart took me to a ladder, like when the admin took text to the ladder in my meme video. Sorry, I'm so wrapped up in my own self-indulgent shit I'm running out of references. Meanwhile, for a second time, someone was set on fire. It was me. I touched the campfire that sits in the corner with the confidence of a hard-to-reach spider. Really though, I'm assuming no one wants to put it out since we're not trying to waste any water or fire here. Though we must rejoice. The famine of the elements is over now that the NCR is here to annex my town. I assume their organization is the Peace Corps of this land, so my people will be supplied with whatever they desire, including but limited to unwanted advances. Now Oasis had no need for a mayor. My term in office was short as my attention span. Going underground to ditch work was where I wound up. I remained lost until a mole man agreed to take me to the den. To say thanks, I gave him all my caps, the whole town budget. The reason being I planned on fighting in the cage and dying tonight. We then arrived at the Little Red Rock Cafe. I went into the cage and was challenged by a masked milkman. He claimed to be some kind of leader, but I ain't ever seen his ass at any of the leadership conventions. Before we got it on, I pulled out my favorite scare tactic. Hank Oakland takes off clothes to reveal an 8-pack bod. You could see it through his clothes. My bad. I had to backtrack after realizing I was attached to permanent undergarments. I went into the fight confident that I would lose. That hope grew stronger when I punched him and a shield popped up. I thought that meant he had armor blocking my strikes, but he politely explained that he was parrying. Come on, man. I'm an old head. I didn't know that was a feature. Plus, mid-fight, when I started to slow down, I learned about the stamina system. How does that work? Is everyone's the same, or am I able to improve it, you unreasonable realist? Excuses aside, I wanted to die, and I didn't get my wish, forcing me to be the sore loser with a gun in his corner.
Thank you there, Sandland, and all of you generous donators from that stream that spiked me up there, because I was able to afford the down payment on some B&E equipment, so I could break into this here basement. And as you can see, it's very luxurious, and plenty of liquor, plenty of antibacterial disinfectant. See you guys.